Oh, I got you. Bazinga!
Wait, the show's going to start.
I'm in the middle of a game.
Kensil culture, puppets, props, puns, podcasts.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Kensil Culture, the pop culture magazine. And I'm the legendary Wid, sidekick to this guy right here. Yes, he is the boss of all things pop culture. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the host of the show, Mr. John Kensil.
Hey, you people who don't know how to use soap, John Kensil here. Like Wid said, and Wid showed that when you play video games, you should always wear a plastic Japanese animation rabbit mask.
Well, I didn't know anything about, about a video game. I've never played a video game in my life, John. And tell the folks what we did this weekend.
We took a bath together.
Come on.
No.
They're going to shower us with frickin' emails now. I said frickin'.
No, there is a gamers convention called Too Many Games at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, and we were asked there to participate in a roast of a video game character, and it was really, really, really fun. In fact, Wid, you have glasses. The first video game I ever remember playing,
okay,
and this is in the early 70s, and this is before Jaws. It was a shark game. You're just a little shark going around eating fish. It had a shark on it. I think it came out right before Jaws. But so anyway, we all know video games are gigantic these days. We have some friends, Jason Hazelwood and Darren Martinez.
Darren Martinez, let's give him a plug right over there. Darren Martinez, he is the author and publisher of Moose Dumps. Get it?
Yes.
Moose Dumps. It's a parody of Goosebumps.
Yes.
And you should try that. But Darren is very much on the scene. And Check them out. Goosebumps.
This book is printed on 100% avocado paper, and you can eat it when you're done reading it. Just like anyway, but Darren's a very good guy. He's very funny. I used to do a podcast with him. Very smart and funny. It's weird. I will say the video game culture is the biggest. What would you call a social group in the country, in the world?
Well,
right?
I think it was very diverse. People.
Oh my God! I've worked in people's houses as a baby photographer, and people have what do you call it? They have game rooms. They have the chairs we're sitting on, but you can lay back.
I know
People will play these games because you play online. You play against people in Australia, Cranberry, New Jersey, Newark, Delaware, right? But you can play, shoot 'em up games, and you're playing with people. Anyway, it's a whole social group, and you have headphones, and you're talking to it. My friend, a couple of my friends, even Darren does this. You use the Twitch, and you can watch them. Not that. You can watch them play video games and do running commentary. And if you're really funny and interesting, people will pay you to watch you play video games. Our friend Tim Butterly does that. He's great, hilarious, got a huge fan base. And he'll announce, hey, everybody, I'll be playing video games tonight at 8 o'clock till 11. Right. And then he goes, and then after I put my kids to bed, I'll be back on again at 1 a.m. And people will sign up for it because he's very funny, and you get lost. You're mesmerized by it. Anyway, there's a whole giant culture.
It is hypnotic. I mean, I have never played, but I've watched over people's shoulders and things like that, and especially there at Too Many Games. They had, they had a lineup of all the old arcade games.
Atari and the first Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, the banana hammocks. It was all that stuff.
And they had Super Mario.
That's true right there, right?
Super Mario. You get it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But it's, and he's right though, but man, it's a whole Well, this convention was selling all the old games, and there's a big proliferation, whatever, a big compilation of all these games, everything, and Wood had to go we. So,
well, you know, there's a lot of celebrities who are into. Like Mike Tyson is very much into video games.
Is he really?
Yeah. Well, he's an Xboxer. Mike
Himmel.
Tyson.
So it's gigantic, but these people are also into anime, character dressing up, cosplay, and this convention is really—it's like walking through nerd Mardi Gras. And it's funny. There are people there dressed there. It's their 15 minutes of fame when they come out of the basement, because there was guys dressed as Peter Griffin from those famous TV series.
And looked just like Peter Griffin.
Looked just like green pants and a white shirt. There was really hot anime girls, like Asian girls dressed up with giant breasts, push-up bras, and blue blonde eyes, white hair. It was just real pretty.
And that's just the guys.
Yes. Also, too, when you go there, if you went to Central Casting and said, I need doughy nerds, all right, that's exactly what every guy there looked like. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's what they are. But they're all like pudgy guys with round glasses, and they know all the factoids, and it's their whole group.
All the factoids. It was kind of amazing to see that many overfed and pampered sort of. It was like in the time machine, okay?
The Morlocks.
The Morlocks who lived down in,
Subhuman.
And, and they eat other people. I think that's what's going to happen here, because I see a lot of gamers, they make fun of going outdoors.
Yes.
And they're afraid to go outdoors. To get amongst nature, okay, was something I said, hey, I got applause break when I was up there, and I says, you know what, guys? Why don't you guys all stay inside and don't go out anymore? And they all went, because they love not going outside, okay?
You know what's really neat, too, is there's some very hot nerd girls. Very attractive. Holy crap. The nerd, with the Lisa Loeb glasses and the pretty smile. And they're smart and funny. It was a really fun time just walking around. It was very cool. And also, I got a real nice discussion with a couple people, because I look like a roofer, right? But I found out too that they're using.
I know you're Shingle. Shingle. He's a roofer. I'm sorry, I got my mind out of the gutter.
Video games, when you watch like the 8-bit ones from when they first came out, like Pac-Man, it was real crappy animation.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's people
Pac-Man. Here's Pac-Man after he's dead.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. Jaws.
It looks like it.
Skull Island. But there's people who love that, and there's also what I saw roll for sale, the music to the old early video games.
Yeah.
People love it. And
they sample it now. They sample some of it in rap songs.
Yeah,
they sample some of the
music
from
if you remember the
video games.
The beginning of Pac-Man. Right. Well, there were CDs or music for sale, downloads of people will get a modern day song, and make it in 8-bit music. Like they'll transfer like Stairway to Heaven into an 80s video game. It's really cool and neat and interesting. And but here's what we had a neat talk about. Now, video games change over here. There was a crappy animation, 8-bit, like Pac-Man.
Right. I remember the crappy animation.
And then it got more and more every year. The Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo all came out, and Wii and Xbox 3 and stuff. But it was really neat. You can see the games improving. But sometimes you think right now, my God, they're going to have video games that look just like a real person, like AI, 3D animation, right?
Sure they are.
Well, a couple people I talked to say they don't want that. They don't want a super, looks like a real, like you're watching a soap opera, right? They don't want that. It's more fun so you can tell it's a false world. Like there's a movie called Ready Player One.
It's more dreamlike, and I think that you get more involved. When you're watching reality too much, just like reality shows, you say to yourself, hey, this is what I see every day. This is reality. It's anti-reality is what those games
you're right.
are, and I love it.
They're going to escape. And weird, you can get lost in there and play for... Some video games would has a time. It says it takes 48 hours to complete this game.
My favorite look is...
What's this?
It's Call of Duty.
Good God.
Oh, come on. I toilet my work, all right?
Where'd you get that at?
I stole it, actually.
Where'd you steal that toilet seat from?
I stole it from the Philadelphia Police Department.
Really?
They still don't know it's me. They got nothing to go on. Sorry.
So, all right, at the convention.
Pac-Man.
There you go. All right. Yeah.
Sorry.
So at the convention, for a sideshow, like a sideshow audience participation thing.
I still have my lanyard.
They did a roast of Sonic the Hedgehog, like the two movies that were out with James Marsden and Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. But anyway, it was really cool. So they had a roast, like a Dean Martin roast, and the person playing Sonic fell ill when he had a bad edible. So they asked Wid to do it. So Wid had to put on a Sonic the Hedgehog outfit.
And I said, I'm pretty old to play Sonic. In fact, I'm a Sonic boomer, okay? And which they understand. See, I was throwing out things that I had no idea what I was talking about. Sonic the Hedgehog sounds like a pretty cool character, though. I mean,
it's real neat. It's
he hits and runs.
It's a basic. It's almost it's like he runs across the land to get enough coins to save the princess, right? And then he has different helpers and different adventures. Goes undersea. It's actually
they're always saving princesses.
That's right.
So I think that's sort of like the age group that's in there. The 15 to like 25. That they can't get real girls, so they got to save the princess in a fantasy world, and so it kind of works, I guess.
Well, it was really fun. The host of it was our friend Jason Hazelwood as Mario, and he looked just like him. I said he looked like Ron Jeremy as Mario. Because he did. He looks like Ron. And he was fantastic as a host.
See them in the same room, Ron Jeremy and...
Dan. I can't think of his last name. Dan was Luigi, Mario's brother. And and the big story you always hear is the Mario brothers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, that's Mario and that's Luigi.
Luigi's brother.
Yeah, but they're called Mario brothers. Is their last name Mario? Like, the Kensil twins? Right? You know what I mean?
So his name would have to be Mario.
Yes, exactly right. And plus, I found another factoid. He's the first video game character with Peyronie's disease. And so, but...
With what?
Do you know what Peyronie's disease is?
No.
Bent wang.
Oh.
Right. You can take medication for it.
That's my dancing name, Bent Wang. But
so his brother was this guy Dan, dressed in green, looked just like him. Wib was that. Our friend Darren was I can't think of his name. He looks like Pluto from the Disney films, Pluto or Goofy, but he's a rapper. His name's like Rapso the Rapper. It's a popular video game. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with it, but
I have no idea what it was. But
imagine Goofy, but if he was white trash. But I played Paperboy. Paperboy is one of the first video games. It's a kid riding a bike up a street, and he's throwing papers. He's being chased by dogs, old men, hits cars, back on the driveways, trash trucks hit him and stuff. I played that guy, and Ben Fiddler played the Russian kickboxer from one of the Mortal Kombat games. It was and it was great. And I'm telling you, there were some very good lines there. Very, very funny.
Well, we had a great time. I was being roasted, and I can tell you that Sonic the Hedgehog, I am actually going to go see one of those movies, okay? I've never been really interested ever since Bob Hoskins tried to play Mario.
In the first movie, yeah.
And that got such a bad reviews.
Yes.
And, they served different kinds of food there, I remember. There was... Laura Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
And that was based on it. What other movies that I do not know about were based on video games?
Oh my God, all of them. or movies that were made into video games like Friday the 13th, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, great movies, very fun movies. It was neat too. They had the weapons in the Resident Evil movies. It's a big, giant, 10-foot tall monster, but he's got a big hammer sword. Well, people were selling that at the convention.
Oh yeah,
and I got kind of a laugh when I said, because I was the first roaster. Hey, it's very nice to be here tonight at the Gamers Convention. And you know what's funny? In exactly 9 months, no kids are going to be born. Nerd, you stupid nerds, right? But
they were the most sexless bunch that I have ever seen. I loved them. It was like, I usually go to a lot of Star Trek conventions, and those people are usually they're within the Star Trek world, or the Next Generation or something like that. But the video gamers, I mean, there were 10 different worlds that people were coming out dressed as orangutans and people dressed as plumbers and people dressed as, and so it made it a little bit more interesting. And let's face it, if kids are playing video games, a lot of times they're off the streets, and they were a nicer. They were a nice bunch of kids.
And that was a good time.
I'm saying kids because I'm a Sonic boomer.
Oh, he's right. And that was a good time. And guess what? That's it for this episode. Not this week, this episode. Don't forget to share and whatever.
Hey, don't forget to ring the bell and push subscribe.
And share.
And, ladies and gentlemen, keep playing those video games. This has been the legendary Wid and John Kensil for Kensil Culture. Tune in.